Hey everyone, welcome to the Political Fight Club. So, Joe Biden is proving by the second that he's an absolute fuckknuckle. And we all knew this, all the burners knew this was the case, and this is one of those times where it's like we're so vindicated because Joe Biden's doing such an awful and embarrassing job on Israel-Palestine. Now, I just did a video breaking down Rashida Tlaib's interaction with him on the tarmac when he was in Dearborn yesterday. And now I'm gonna actually I'm gonna make fun of him a little bit. Like, this is kind of a goofy thing because this whole event for Biden was absurdly embarrassing. And if it weren't for the media being absolute cucks to the Democratic Party, this would be, I mean, he'd be getting just absolutely shredded by everybody for the stuff that he said. But let's start with the first stupid ass thing that he did. He, in the last part of his tour of this factory making all the F-150s, he was in an F-150 with media all shining their spotlight on him and recording him, and he's sitting at the wheel of this F-150, and one of the press goes, "Can I ask you a quick question about Israel, Joe?" And he responded, "Only if you step in front of the car and let me hit the gas." And the media all yucked it up like a bunch of fucking rich wine tasting moms. Bro, if Donald Trump had responded like that, the media would have been, rightfully so, all over it. There'd be a frenzy over it. But because it's senile Uncle Joe, and because everybody that's in mainstream media is basically running interference for him, they're just laughing their asses off about that kind of comment. Tells you exactly what you need to know about the media and about Joe Biden. But you know what? He was joking, so I don't want to make too much of it. I don't think he obviously seriously meant it. But again, the double standard that the media does when it comes to, if Trump said something like that, you know that these fucking people will be like, oh! But because it's Biden, they're like, cute, cute. He's joking about running someone over. It's cute. So, I digress. The other really embarrassing thing that he did was when Rashida Tlaib rightfully went after him and actually stood up to him and got in his face a little bit on the tarmac because she is Palestinian and because she said that, and I read this just now, basically Palestinian lives aren't a bargaining chip, and I'll read you exactly here. Quote, "The U.S. cannot continue to give right-wing Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu government billions each year to commit crimes against Palestinians. Atrocities like bombing schools cannot be tolerated, much less conducted with U.S.-supplied weapons. And the status quo is enabling more killing, that the current U.S. approach of unconditional support for Israeli government is not working, and that the White House must do far more to protect Palestinian lives, dignity, and human rights." So she went in there and basically was like, yeah, you can't continue to give weapons to the Israelis. You're enabling genocide. And what does he do? In one ear, out the other, because when he gave his speech, later that day after he was done with this tour or whatever, he mentioned Rashida Tlaib, but he called her Rasheed 3 times and never called her by the correct name. Now, that's embarrassing, but it also tells us something, you guys, and I want to point this out, and I don't know why anybody hasn't picked it up. The squad have been claiming for months now that Biden has been listening to them and has been doing a very good job, right? Pramila Jayapal went viral for all the wrong reasons last week for saying that Joe Biden gets a grade of A because he's working with them and seems to be open to their ideas. If Joe Biden is really what Pramila is talking about, how come he doesn't know who Rashida Tlaib is? How come he does not know her name? The squad's lying? They're lying about Joe actually listening to them? Yes. I made a joke earlier, like a month and a half ago, when or longer than that, I think, when I was talking about Pramila Jayapal was running for force the vote after the Pelosi nomination already happened, and I made fun of her to high heaven because I'm like, you don't have any leverage. And I made fun of her because I I said that here's what's going to happen. You're going to go down to Nancy Pelosi's office and you're going to try to strong-arm her on Medicare for All, and she's going to go, "Who are you? I have no idea who you are. Get out of my office." And I was being facetious, but Biden really does not know who Rashida Tlaib is. Which tells us that the squad is either greatly overestimating exactly, or telling us that Biden is listening to them a lot more than he actually is, or they're just straight up lying. He's not really listening to them, and they're saying that he is just because they want to play defense for the Democrats. And I don't know which one it is, but methinks that he's not listening to them barely at all, because if he were, he would at least know who the fuck Rashida Tlaib is, especially considering she's a Palestinian congresswoman in the middle of a genocide in Palestine right now, which is the hot button topic. He doesn't even know who Rashida Tlaib is. And Rashida, if you ever see this, how about you stop trying to work with somebody who doesn't know who the fuck you are? You just introduced yourself to him on the tarmac and pled for your people, including your grandmother's well-being, and it was in one ear out the other with this fuckface, and you still want to work with them. Get mad. So sick and tired of the squad being ineffectual. Now, I did mention earlier that AOC did something great, and they in fact did introduce a resolution to block the Israeli arms bill. If they actually play hardball on it, that would be wonderful, and I'll eat my words. But I gotta point out, you guys, I think the squad is greatly lying to us or omitting information as far as exactly how much Biden is actually listening to them. And the evidence is that I don't think Biden even really knows who these fucking people are, and if he did, he would actually say her name correctly. It wasn't like he called her, Rashida Tlaib, or, missed it a little bit. He thrice in a row called her Rasheed, which is a male's name, by the way. Shows you how much is going on up there with Joe. But seriously, get angry. He doesn't know who the fuck you are. He's not listening to you. You have to make him listen to you. You need to stop acting like you have for the last 3 months and acting like Joe Biden's getting an A because he's listening to you. He's not listening to you. He doesn't even know who the fuck you are. So the squad needs to get mad. Hopefully this is the thing that gets them mad. Hopefully it gets Rashida Tlaib mad because it's finally hitting home for her because she is Palestinian. Took you long enough, Rashida, but maybe if this is the spark that gets you guys actually growing a spine, I'm fine with it. Vote together as a block, start blocking some shit in the House, tell Joe Biden what you want included in bills, and start standing up for yourself like you did yesterday. This would be great. But if you just let this become theater and you don't actually push it through, then that's all that it was. It was just empty posturing on that tarmac. Hope you enjoy being called Rasheed for the next 3 years, or God forbid, 7 years, because that's all he's going to call you.